Welcome, my constant reader friends. I'm Tad, and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. Well, this is this is the number 2 in my special videos for a read-along I'm doing with Grozz on his channel, the GKBC, and it's the second episode of Saga. As you know, the first episode we went through chapters 1 through 6, or comic books 1 through 6. Now, this week we're doing 7 through 12. Alright, so I had to take some notes. This is a wild ride. So, bear with me. I'm gonna probably have to edit this a little bit because I don't want to give too much away, but there's so much I got to say about this in just 12 episodes. I mean, just 12 books, 12 chapters, however you want to call it. It's pretty good. I think you can tell by my excitement. I'm really, really digging this. You know, I mean, I saw when you do booktube, you watch other booktubers, and for years I've watched booktubers before I ever even started my own channel, and oftentimes I'll see the thumbnail and a lot of authors holding up Saga, and I never really researched it. I never watched any of those videos. I knew that people were saying this might be the best comic book series ever written, or whatever. You know, people, it's their favorite. And now I'm starting to understand. I don't know, again, if it's still going to surpass Alan Moore for me. But, you know, I did like Paper Girls, which is by the same author last year. So finally, because Grozz, you know, got me into it, I'm finally delving into this. And I don't know what took me so long. So, just spoiler, I'm loving it. But let me get into it a little bit here. What the heck is happening? Again, this is a wild ride. It's very fast paced. It's very modern language, and just some crazy. You just go from scene to scene to scene. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes some books get too disjointed when they're chaotic, and this book is chaotic, but it's not disjointed. It actually is, you know, walking you through this story, and it's very exciting. Let me just say some things first. All right, so now we're seeing some more backstory through, you know, kind of flashbacks, you know, things like that. We're starting to see some origin stories. Specifically, since now we've met Marco's parents, we're seeing a little of the backstory from Marco when he was a child. There's some flashbacks. We're also seeing a little bit of the origin story of Marco and Alana and how they met. She was a prison guard, he was in prison. And we're starting to see a little bit of that, so that's fun. I like how they are slowly revealing like this kind of a juxtaposition between, you know, space age, science, spaceships that are trees, but also there's magic in this world, and you're starting to delve a little bit more into how the magic fits in with this world and how it's used. They're developing that. I'm digging that. So we're also, again, I don't want to give too much away. I just want to start talking about everything. If you haven't read this, I'm just going to flat out, you got to read it. I'm having a ball with it. Where we see Marco's father is starting to develop a relationship with Alana and baby Hazel, while Marco and his mother go off to try to find Isabel. And we find out that Marco's father, this badass dude, is a seamstress, and he makes clothes for Alana and baby Hazel. that are like protective wear, but Alana says, "Ooh, this is nice. You can make me some more of this." That's pretty cool. He doesn't tell people, though. He does reveal to Alana, though, that he's dying. I'm not going to give any of that away. He hasn't told his family yet. Also, every planet or world that we go to is unique. It's interesting. You're going to find some strange creatures on there. For instance, Marco and his mother are going, looking for Isabel and they're on this other world, and they run into this huge giant dude. He's got 3 eyes. He's totally butt naked, and he's got these gigantic balls hanging down between his legs. And Marco's like, "Oh, don't look, Mom." And she's like, "Seen them once, seen them all, son." And they fight with this. Oh man, it's fun. It's hilarious. The imagery is amazing. The artwork is really cool. The color work is great. I'm kind of gushing over this. I got to look at my notes here. So, oh, there's a character. I mean, every monster or every character is kind of unique. There's this character that they show for a couple frames that looks like a seahorse. There's one scene I really got to show you. I'm going to hold that off a little bit here because we also meet Gwendolyn. Yeah, Gwendolyn is Marco's ex-fiance. She hooks up with the Will, who's a bounty hunter trying to hunt them down. She helps him get the little girl from Sextillion. Oh my gosh. There's so much going on, but like I said, it seems a little chaotic, but it's really flowing nicely with the story. It's not throwing you out of it, at all. I don't think. Anyways, I'm totally enjoying it. We see the stalk. She's not dead. Yeah, maybe she is. It was just a dream. Got my excitement up because I love the stalk. Really cool character. If you haven't read it, read it. One of the Will's ex-loves. She's a bounty hunter too. It's crazy. Lion Cat, we find out, is badass. Almost dies, but the Will saves Lion Cat. There's so much going on here. It's crazy. Marco and his mom do find Isabel, bring her back. I'm not going to tell you what happens there. I'm going to show what I wanted to show you. There's a lot of sex in here. There's a lot of not safe for work images in here, but this one is kind of cool. My favorite so far is Prince Robot 4. This is him here. And this is a little backstory for him. You can see here the guy's yelling medic, and Prince is bleeding blue blood. They have like computer monitor, TV monitors as heads. You can see things on the screen. Sometimes they're expressions. This is a porno for some reason. But what I wanted to, there's another scene here with this rat person, and the rat person is the medic. So it comes running while this soldier is holding Prince Robot 4, and the medic says, "What do we have?" And the soldier says, "Blue blood attached to our unit took a round to the neck. He's fritzed." Oh my God, I laughed out loud. The context for me, if you're from my age and we had the old TV monitors when I was a kid and they would go on the fritz, you could go up to the TV and hit it with your hand and the picture would come back. It just made me laugh. There's so much stuff in here like that. I can't even go over it all. I don't want to go over it all, because if you haven't read this, I'm saying you got to read it. I'm 12 issues in right now. So I guess if they were releasing, I don't know, I didn't even research this. If they're releasing, you know, a book a month, you're now a year in to reading this, and episodically, and it's awesome. I can't wait to read the next section of this book. I've already ordered the next book. Oh, I don't know what we're gonna do with the reading along together, me and Grozz, but I gotta tell you, there's a part, I don't know if I should give this away. So what we're finding out here is that there was a book, Grozz will call it a bodice ripper, a Harlequin romance book, that Alana was reading as she was a guard guarding Marco when he was in prison. And this is like an undercover piece of propaganda that this author wrote in the form of a Harlequin romance that is really incendiary in nature, and really just wants to show people that people of different races can live together, can love each other. And that's where I think Alana realizes this war that they've been fighting for forever maybe is ridiculous. Maybe you can love, you know, your neighbor or love your enemy if you can just sit down and talk. And because in this love story, basically nothing really happens except they sit around, watch TV and talk, but they're of different races. And I think that gives her ideas to actually start to approach Marco and talk to him. And that's how their love blossoms, and they end up having baby Hazel. So it's a propaganda piece wrapped in a Harlequin romance. It's really cool. Prince Robot 4 is going to the planet where the author of this bodice ripper is, and he's going to confront him because he thinks Marco and Alana and baby Hazel will go to meet this author. And so that's why he's gone there. I'm not going to give any of that away, but that's what he's doing. And I don't know what else to say. I just love it. I'm really digging it. If you haven't read this, because you see that so many people are saying that it's really good, and you're contrarian, sometimes I can be, I don't want to read something that everybody's reading. You know, I want to find my own gem in the rough or whatever. Nah, you got to read it. Even if you don't like comic books, it's really good. You should try it. I like this version of it, this hardback version, but you can get them individually too, of course. All right, so I just wanted to talk about that. Usually, I think I don't know if we're going to keep this every 2 weeks. We'll be doing an update on this. I'm not sure. Got to talk to Grozz about that on his channel. I can't wait to see what he says about these next 6 chapters in the book. But we're going to keep it going because it's freaking awesome. I'm loving it. All right, so tomorrow we'll be doing my normal video where I'm going to update where I am in my reading. I got to say I'm a little bit behind on my Stephen King, but we'll continue with that tomorrow. Today is my son Haven's birthday. My birthday is Monday, so usually now that we're adults, we kind of celebrate them together. So I'm going to celebrate with my son Haven tonight. But anyways, I'll talk to you again tomorrow with my normal videos. And as always, if you like anything that we're doing here, please like, subscribe, send tons of comments, and as usual, peace out.